Hi everyone, it's KFK's Creative Home. Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm showing you the supplies we're going to be using. I'm going to make a small little outdoor lighting for your yard or your garden using the 8-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame and two of my ribbons. So what I'm doing first is to cut the ribbon at 18 inches. This is the second one I've made. Tested it out the first time, and this is the second one. And if I do a third one, it's going to be even a little longer, just because of how the light hangs within this little garden light. Okay, so I'm going to cut 6 of these at 8 inches. 18 inches. And then I'm cutting 6 of this contrasting one in 18 inches also. 6 each. And what we're going to do is add them to that wreath frame and make ourselves a little outdoor lighting using the Dollar Tree frame, a Dollar Tree solar light. And I didn't choose to use Dollar Tree ribbon only because I have so much ribbon. I just didn't want to buy any more. So what we're going to be doing here is folding under our the edges of the ribbon. And the first fold, and I use a ruler just to make sure it's an even fold from one side to the other, is going to be a 1/2 inch. And that ruler helps to make sure it just all comes out the same. And then the next fold is going to be 1.5 inches. That time I moved the ruler around, but you'll see as I kind of get the hang of this, I keep the ruler in place because I was trying so many different things with this. So first 1/2 inch, and then 1.5 inch. And that first 1/2 inch is because Kay doesn't like raw edges showing. So it's getting tucked in, so even if you see the little lighting from the inside, you won't see raw edges. You'll just see a folded in. So again, each end, the same on both sides. First a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to go up to 1.5 inches. Now sometimes, because there's wire in this ribbon, those wires can stick out from that little 1/2 inch point. So, be careful, watch your fingers, because as you start manipulating this ribbon around the wreath frame, some of those little wires can get you unless you kind of fold them in or tuck them in. So just something to be conscious of as we're working. All right, so I'm going to quickly go through the rest of these, speed this up a little bit, and finally get this done. Now, if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you're not a member of the family, don't forget to hit the button and ring the bell so you can be notified when I release new videos. And I also ask that you let me know if you would like to see more of this type of video. I'm thinking about just doing a whole bunch of different outdoor lighting ideas that you can do with Dollar Tree wreath frames. Trying to think of some other uses for wreath frames that can beautify your home and not just make a wreath. Okay, so this wreath frame is what I call upside down, because we usually work with them curved out, curved on top. Now the curve is underneath, and like the U shape is facing up looking at me. So right where I have the fold on that ribbon, right at that 1.5 inch point, it's going to fold against that inner bar. So I bring that fold right up to that inner bar and fold it over. The wrong side of your ribbon is facing up, so that once you fold it over, if you would flip it over, the right side of your ribbon would be facing out. So let me say that again. Right now, looking up is the wrong side of my ribbon. The right side of my ribbon is against my cutting board. So first thing I thought to do was to try to use needles, pins to hold this in place, because got quite a few little steps to go and I don't want it moving. So I did that, and I'm thinking people aren't going to have pins sitting around. I have those because I sew and do other things, but eventually I'll show you how I took that out and just started using clips. They worked a lot better. I wasn't sure the clips would be able to pinch the bar of the frame because that frame is so narrow, but it did a nice job. All right, so I've got 2 rings here. I mean 3 rings, but 2 inner parts of the ring. So in the first, between the center ring and the middle ring, I'm going to put a dab of E6000, and that's going to give me my secure hold. And I'm just going to take this step by step first, and then I'm going to press that down so that that can start to come together and work its magic and stick together. And then between that middle and the outer ring on the ribbon, I'm going to put some hot glue so I can get a bit of an instant hold. And when I put this together here, I'm making sure that the ribbon is now completely under that last wire, because when it's finished, that wire is going to be hidden. Alright, so see how that is over that, all of it is over the outside of that frame. And what you see there is the front side of the ribbon. That's actually what you're looking at right now. Okay, so let's get back to the inside of the ribbon. So back to the underside where we were working, you'll see that the last fold of the ribbon actually lines up with that outer ring. And that's what I was kind of pointing to. Okay, now this is where I realized these stick pins are going to just be in the way. So when I try to put the next one on, I lined up that fold with the inner circle and tried to put a pin in, and it just ran into the other pins. Fingers getting stuck. I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. Okay, so what I do is reach in and try clip. The clip goes right around that first outer ring and holds it tightly. It was just perfect. And so what I did was put it right on the rim. I pinched the rim so that I can still lift that flap there and get underneath of there and put my glue. So I'm just going to go around here first and pinch on all of my ribbons. So again, put it on, line it up with that fold, and make sure that when you fold that little flap over, it lines up on the other side with the outer ring. So the first where it's folded on the wrong side goes lined up with the inner ring, and once you fold that flap over, the end of that fold should kind of line up with the outer ring. I am alternating my ribbon as I go around, so I just chose to use two different types of ribbon. Of course, with this design you could use 2, 3, 4, whatever you decide, 4 different ones, whatever you decide, however you want to do this. So I'm going to just continue to work my way around here, folding each one over, and I think I'm gonna I think I can stay at this speed till I get almost all the way around so you can really see what I'm doing here, and hopefully you're kind of getting the hang of it. If you have any questions, I'm always open to questions, so please leave them in the comments. And if something isn't clear, I'll just have to do a short or post in the community tab, something where you can really see, try to get another close-up angle so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay. Alright, so now I have all of them attached to the frame, and we're going to use both of these reframes. Now I'm going to lift up each little flap there on between that center ring and that middle ring. I'm putting a dab of the E6000. Going to do a few of those, then hold on. I'm going to put my cap back on this E6000. I don't know about you, but mine keeps easing out of the tube, so I put the top on. Now what I'm doing is moving the clip down a little bit. So right where I put that E6000, I now have a clip holding that in place to give that E6000 a chance to adhere. I'm actually, instead of my finger sitting there pressing it together, that clip is actually pressing it together. So again, I do it with my hands first to kind of get the glue on both sides, and then I just slide that clip down a little teeny bit, and it's actually pressing right in where I put the E6000. So I'm going to go on around here and do that for each one, and then I'm going to come back and do my hot glue between those other two rings. Again, I'm always open to questions, so let me know if there's something you don't understand. Remember, all of that length of ribbon there that's hanging out, you're looking at the wrong side. And that little flap, because I folded it over, that piece is kind of the right side. But everything else, here I go with the hot glue. Now you see I'm going right between that outer and inner ring and then pressing it down. Be careful not to burn yourself. This glue is hot and these ribbons are thin when it comes to that hot glue. You can really get your fingers here. And the glue is, I try to not do it lightly, but sometimes it came through the ribbon and onto my cutting mat. So if you want to use your little, what do they call them? The glass things that you use, tempered glass. If you want to use that like you use for your wood burners, if you want to put that underneath of this while you're working, it might be a good idea. Usually I just scrape the glue off when I'm finished, but this time it did leave some, light scorched marks in my cutting mat. So I don't think I'm going to do that again. I think next time I'm going to use my tempered glass. So yeah, because you got to kind of see how some spots it actually started sticking to the mat. All right, so I'm going to finish going around here again on just the outer rings and then pressing down that flap there, giving it a chance to adhere. In this case, I did not move the clips, so I didn't try any new clips because I thought it would just wrinkle up the ribbon. And this particular size clip isn't big enough to reach all the way over. They do make bigger clips if you want to take the time and put a bigger clip on there. I didn't find it worth that, this hot glue adheres quickly. All right, let me finish this round and then we're going to be ready to start on the next part of our little light. Alright, we flip it over and now you can see how the right side of the ribbon is all facing out looking at you. Where I'm scraping there, a little bit of the glue, like I said, did come through and got on my mat. So what's on the top of the ribbon, once it dries, you can kind of just scrape it a little bit and get that off. Depending on how you hang this, it may or may not show. I mean, it's clear glue, so it's not like it's super obvious. Alright, so now what we want to do is take the second ring. These come 2 in a pack at Dollar Tree. And do the same thing on the other side. Let's see how I'm bringing it over the top. Lost my little bit of my fold, and I think some of that wire was getting my finger right there. Bring it over the top and then do the same thing. Right where that fold is, it goes against the inner circle. And then that little flap goes underneath. So I'm just going to work my way around here. Do the same step. And you can see what I did was the crossbar on the bottom, right between that yellow and the yellow and green ribbon, is right where I placed the crossbar on the top. Made sure that the same ribbons lined up top and bottom with the the same position. And I'm going to again slowly work my way around here. And I'm going to continue just clipping each ribbon onto the top, or what will be the top or the bottom of my little light. I was showing you a minute ago with my hands how this part, the wreath frame, is facing up. I was trying to show you how the curve was going across the top. So that's kind of in the normal position so that when I go underneath and do my glue, it will be on the wrong side or the underside of the wreath. Same as on the one on the bottom there. Everything I'm doing here, exactly the same steps I did on the bottom. And once we get all of those done, then we'll show you what comes next. But first I just got to get them all on here and Then we're going to go through the same steps of gluing also. All right, let me hurry up and finish this so we can move on to the next thing. Now I have all my ribbon clipped on, I'm going to show it to you first, and then I'm going to flip it. So now it's on the bottom. And you won't be able to see this as much. That's why I made sure the first, when I did the top, that was hopefully really clear. Because now I have to do the same thing on the bottom. If you can kind of peek in there. I'm going to first lift each piece of ribbon and add my E6000 glue right to that first little, the opening between the outer rim. No, this is the E6000 goes in between the inner rim and the middle wire. And then I'm going to do the hot glue again between the middle rim and the outer rim. Exactly what we did on the top. It's just that now that it's all turned over and I got all these ribbons in the way, you can't really see what I'm doing. But I promise you, I'm doing the exact same thing I did on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of those glued down, and we'll be back to show you how we add our little hanger. Alright, so now everything has been glued top and bottom, and I'm getting ready to show you a light. This is a Dollar Tree light. I did not find this in the store. I had to order it online, but any of their little solar lights will work. This one, you unscrew the globe off and it has a little on off switch inside there. Flip it on and then screw that little light back on, or the light bulb part back on. And these are the 3 chain holders for the hanging plants, and they come, this is how they used to come in that long packet. They now come in a little shorter square one, so if you're in the store looking for them, you might have to actually look for a shorter package. But they are carrying those chains in the store this year. So this is back to the first ribbon we put on, so this glue should be pretty dry. I'm still letting the bottom clip stay on so that it can continue to dry. I'm going to add this chain to the top. Where I have my 3 crossbars is where I'm going to add my 3 chains. Now, I decided to be special. I want to hook the chain to the wreath, but then I want a little bit of it to still hang down so it can catch my light bulb. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Yeah. And if it catches it on all 3 sides, and I'm just playing around with it there to see if it would happen, what would happen, I put it on all 3 of them on the light bulb, and then I'm taking the outer parts and clipping it to the sides where I want to attach those. And I want to kind of see if it's going to hang right. And, you know, I can kind of see, yeah, this is going to work. It's not exactly even right now because of how I have the clips going, but the idea works. Yeah. Okay. So once I finished kind of seeing, yeah, that's going to work, I took it all apart, and now I've got to figure out how I'm going to get that prong around the wreath frame. So I tried a few different things. Didn't work, so I finally had to give up and go get some real tools. And I got some, I think they're wire pliers or needle nose pliers. I don't know what they're called, but I'm going to go get them in a minute. But let me show you exactly what I would like to do. I want to come to that 4th chain and take the little hooks of the chain and put it around that middle section right there. So that middle crossbar, the cross is going over, and then the middle one that's going around, that's exactly where I want to hook this up. And I was trying, like I said, to maneuver it with my hands. It did not work. So in a second, I'm going to get the pliers and I'll show you what I did. I did try to attach this with wire and with pipe cleaner. I didn't like the effect, so I'm going to do it the hard way. So if this part is a little too confusing, you can just do it with your wire or your pipe cleaner or something that'll hold it in place. Like I said, I didn't really like the look, so I'm going to try to open that prong of the chain and actually attach it around the wire. So let me get ready to do a close-up here so you can really see what I'm doing. So if you count up each link of the chain, I'm counting up 4 of them, and the 4th one is the one I want to actually attach, and I think that'll leave me enough space to let it swing over into the center. In the end, I had to adjust it again, so if you want to do it on the 3rd prong, I tell you it'll work for this 8-inch frame. But anywho, I'm working on the 4th one, and I'm trying my best to hold it so you can see how I counted those 4 links right there. Now right there where those little prongs, you'll see 2 open prongs. I see how I lifted that up, and I'm going to lay it back on that white paper again so you can see it. I not only lifted it up, but then I had to open it in the center, open the prongs actually up. So there's where I lifted it up, and you can see my finger kind of goes in between there. And now I want to open it so that that crossbar can fit in between the ring. See, right now it's going on the circular ring, but it's not wrapping around that crossbar. It's still too tight in there. So I'm going to separate the 2 prongs again, and hopefully, I think I do stop and show you again. Yep, I can see. All right, so now I got it open, and I'm actually going to fit it around the ring and then between the 2 crossbars as soon as I get it open enough there. And working on that, working on that, working on that. Okay, so let me show you again with the white paper behind it. See, that's what I had to open up, those 2 little prongs. I opened them from the side, and then I opened in between them so that it fit right around that crossbar. Can you kind of see that? I hope you can see that. Okay. So now what I got, once I did that, I was like, okay, once I put it on here, then I can hang the chain on it. That's gonna, the last part of the chain, that's gonna reach down to my light. So yeah, I'm showing you again. And when I went to add that last part of the chain on, it was too tight. I had to open it up some more. I kind of went back and forth with this a minute. But in the end, I put it around the circular bar, added the rest of my chain, like I'm doing there, and then I had to fit it between the crossbar because it was like things were getting in the way. I couldn't get it right, so I had to do one at a time. Fit it around the circular chain, add my little chain extension, and then put it back around that crossbar. And I'm trying so hard to show this with that white paper underneath so you can see it. But I hope that makes sense, or that you can at least see what's going on. Okay, so I removed the chain from the reframe where I was doing my little example, and now I'm going to do it on the real frame here for my light. So I'm going to go in here, add it around the round bar in the middle, add my little extension, the rest of that chain, and then bring it up around the middle bar. And then I take my pliers and just close those little prongs back up so that it won't slip off again. Same where I opened it, I just do the reverse to close it. And once I get that nice and secure, I can move on to the next one. Okay, so the same thing with each of those. You see how I got my extension hanging off? I was so proud of myself for figuring this out, because believe me, it took me a minute. I mean, you try something like this and it's new. It's like, wait a minute, how do I get this to work? So, all right, so I'm going to go do the same to the other 2 chains here. Take off that little extension piece, open it up, put it around the bar, and add that chain back in. Once you do it the first time, you get it right, you're like, oh, okay, I got it. And then you can do the others. Okay, I'll get these on and we'll be right back. All right, I got all three of my chains on, and you can see the little extensions hanging there. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. And now I'm going to take those three extensions, and they have a little clasp. I don't know exactly what you call this type of clasp, where you just push one side and it opens up, and I'm just sliding that hanging part of the light right in there. This is the easy part. Finally, an easy part. Um, so that's what I do there. Got all three of them on there, and I go to hang it, and I'm like, yay, it worked! Only thing I wasn't so sure about is I wanted the light to be more in the center, and it is right at the bottom. And you can kind of see that, how that bulb is right at the bottom. Now, here's where my crazy comes in again, because this probably wouldn't even matter, but I'm a little crazy. I want it in the center, so I'm going to put it in the center, right? So I go and I'm thinking, oh no, I got to take this apart again. Then I'm like, hold up, no. All I have to do is take that little clasp off the bottom here again. I was going to cut it, and I'm like, no, 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 don't do that. So I just pushed in on that little clasp, took it off, and moved up one link and added that little clasp back to the second link instead of the bottom link. So I'm doing the same thing each time. Sliding it off of the bottom link, going up one, and adding it to the second link. And once I do that, then I just slide that same little clasp back around, put it on my light. Okay, one more to do. Unhook it from the light, unhook it from the chain. Just open it up and slide it out. Go up one link of the chain, and then slide it back onto the light. Now you'll see when it hangs, it's hanging a little bit higher. It's not at the very bottom of the little lantern. So what I have to do now is smooth out all my ribbon. This ribbon is very soft. It's very flexible. Some of them that have more a tighter weave, they're a little stiffer. So the next time I try this, I think I'm going to try some stiffer ribbon. But I really wanted a bright yellow. So I finally got it together. It worked. Look at this. It worked. And it's even hanging level. I was really worried that the chain wouldn't be right. So when you finish, if yours is hanging level, go up and down each part of the chain and make sure all the links are kind of hanging top to bottom, because sometimes they get a little crooked or whatever. I don't know what you call it. Kind of caught on itself. And you just smooth it out with your fingers. Make sure it's smooth. And your little lantern should be hanging just nice like this. So I can share some pictures of it with you at the end. And I'm sorry we had rain here continuously. So I actually gave this to a friend for her birthday. So when she hung it in her yard, look, I'm clapping. I'm so happy. When she hung it in her yard, it was dry for a minute. We had a few hours of dry weather. Here's another one I made. It's a little bit shorter. So I had to make something longer. I think I did that with 12-inch ribbon. And then when I tried to add the bulb, it was just too short. So I did this one with 18-inch. I think the next time I may try 22 or 24. We'll see. So, yeah, I'm still showing those chains and those links. I'm so happy about that. Oh, I was saying I hung it in her yard so we can, we got some pictures real quick. But I do not have pictures yet of it lit at night just because we've been having so much rain. So when I get those, I'll post it in the community tab. All right. I thank you for spending this time with me. And I'll be talking with you again real soon.